Sorry, I just thought this was really cool. My housemate Anna just brought this back. Some crazy Japanese shit right there. And yeah, ignore any noise in the background. But my name's Josh. I'm one of the 6 Leedervillains. We all live in a house together in West London, and we all go to Brunel University. I'm a politics student. And I thought, for my first video, I'll do something a bit interesting. And hi Jen, doing a video, so I'm doing top 10. I'm doing top 10 university tips. Some Japanese that Anna brought. Yeah, I'm doing top 10 university tips. And okay, number 1. My first tip is sort out your student finance. Because student finance, as you will soon realise, becomes the absolute fucking bane of your life. Every year, you want money. And pretty much every day you want money at university. So if you want to go to university, and if you want on your first day to know that you've got money there for you, then sort out your shit. Sort out your student finance. Because as you agree, Anna, student finance is important, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I thought, mainly my mum, she was quite clever, and we made sure we got that shit done straight away. And it was nice to get to university in the knowledge that I'd have money there waiting for me. And although it took a few days, it still came through, which is good. But I know a lot of people were really, really struggling, and they had to rely on money from their parents or from the bank, and that's not a great way to...
Like me!
Like Anna. That's not a great way to start things off, because then you're worrying like a bastard about money. Tip number 2, these are tips, yeah. Tip number 2, I thought stay calm, because during your exam time, leading up to university and results time, you're going to be stressed as fuck. You've got revision, you've got exams, and you're going to be an absolute prick during this period. So the best thing is to stay calm and try not to change your lifestyle too much. Try and balance the revision and the exams with being sociable. Still make sure you see your mates, because if you change too much, your head is going to be fucked. So stay calm, because that's important, especially if you want to get into university. Just don't worry. Tip number 3. Tip number 3, if you have a job, save. Because as I will explain in a bit, money is probably the most problematic area of being a student. So in whatever way possible, make sure you save some dollar before uni. Because money makes the world go round, doesn't it, Miko?
It does.
It does. Tip number 4, prepare for results day. No matter how much of a child genius you've been all your life, prepare for every scenario. And yes, that means prepare for the scenario that you may have to find a university place through clearing. Because there's this thing called clearing where you don't get into uni, you ring up and you're like, find me a uni that will take me. And most of the time they're like, yeah, get the fuck out, you're thick as shit. But a lot of the time they're like, yeah, you did alright, you tried hard. You can have this place. But I didn't have to go through that, thankfully. But make sure you prepare for it. Because if you're prepared to go down such a route, then make sure you look at a variety of different university courses you'd be interested in. And if you don't get the place you wanted, then at least you've got a bit of a backup. And I even would advise you to maybe wait a few days after finding out your results to really think about the decisions you're going to make. Because this is going to affect you the rest of your life at the end of the day. Tip number 5, plan. If you're lucky enough to get to the point of getting into uni, then the next step is to make sure you have everything you need for university. If you're strapped for cash, then do what I do. Don't be afraid to ask family members, to ask friends for things, to take off them at the end of the day, because everyone's always going to have spare saucepans, spare cutlery. Well, I mean, not always, but not everyone has the money to go out and buy that stuff. So what I did was went to a few relatives, picked up some old saucepans they didn't need, did me just fine. That was a lovely, sexy noise. Yeah, tip number 6. 6 is a good number. Come out of your shell. Well done, you made it. You've got into university. So the first thing to make sure you're doing now is not to be a shy little bastard. Okay? Just don't be a dick. Because you're going to be living with these bastards for the next year or the next 8 months or whatever. And you could be living with them you could be living with them in a house like I am now. And if you've not made some good pals by then you're fucked. But yeah, come out of your shell. And one thing that's the perfect bit of advice for that is on your first day, once your parents are left and once you've cut the umbilical cord and mummy's running away in a shower of tears and emotion, then just go and sit in your kitchen or keep your door open. Make sure that the opportunity is there for people to come up to you and chat.
Blatantly don't make enemies.
Don't make enemies, because you don't want it to be some like epic drama within the first week where you're having a little bit of a showdown at the end of Freshers Week where that person's been a dick to you or you've been a dick to them, and then you've got to put up with that for the rest of your year. So fuck that. Tip number 7 is kind of a weird one, is explore the area. And that doesn't necessarily mean the university campus, but explore the area where your university is set. So, for example, my university is in a specific place in West London. I won't go too much into it. I don't want you like turning up at my house at 4 a.m. and like sort of knocking and calling for me, and I'll be like trying to sleep. Yeah, as if I'm sleeping at 4 a.m. and blatantly just trawling YouTube for shit like this, but still. Cool. But yeah, explore the area. So make sure you get to know all the good pubs to go to if you're a bit of a drinker. Make sure you explore the shops just in case you might want to apply for a job soon, but make sure you know the area well so you're not basically stuck within a few weeks when you're at the point where you need to go shopping to stock up on the noodles and all that student stuff you eat. Tip number 8, something that I didn't succeed in, you didn't really succeed in, it's get a job. I didn't manage this,
awesome,
but I certainly wish I had the luck of some people who did.
Knock me down.
Yeah, just knock myself down as well though. Kind of balances it out. But yeah, as I'll talk about in a bit, you'll need to keep a budget, which is very hard. So if you can get a job, do it, because the extra money will come in very, very handy. Tip number 9, as I just mentioned. Sorry, tip number 9, just in case fingers help you to realise numbers in the same way that words do. But budget, yeah, it's quite important, budgeting. Keeping a budget, because my mum was like, budget, and I was just like, no, money's money. If I need to spend it, I'll spend it. Didn't work out too well. So make sure you work out how much money you've got coming in. Make sure you're spending the right amount each week to last you up until your next instalment from mummy or daddy or from student finance. But yeah, because you don't want to get to the point, like I did, where not long after Freshers Week, not long after being settled in, I was on my hands and knees crawling to the bank asking for an overdraft, and it was not a pretty sight, I tell you now. But yeah, budget, it's not bad, it's pretty good, works out in the long run. Means you can afford more drinks later on. Don't drink though, it's not good for you or anything. Number 10, final one, the top tip for university students or university students to be is it's quite a noble's the wrong word, but it's quite an epic one. I'll big this up a bit. It's be fearless. This may seem like an odd one, but I think it's the best advice, because the last thing you want is to be having regrets by the end of your first year. So make sure you throw yourself into every opportunity. Join every society that interests you. Go out whenever you can. That doesn't mean go out drinking. That means just going out meeting people, doing anything whatsoever to make your life a little bit more interesting in between your bloody studying. And embrace your university, because you will hopefully learn to love it. And just go for it, kid. Have the best time of your life. But yeah, be fearless, because fear is the can't think of anything to say, but be fearless. So yeah, those were my 10 top university tips. I hope they helped, because to be honest, not many of them probably will have. It's probably the same old shit you've heard from your parents, but in a slightly more interesting way, or at least what I thought was more interesting. But I think number 10 is probably the most important one. Just go for it. It's the only chance you'll ever get, unless you drop out and do it all over again. But ignore that factor. Just go for it. It will be the best time of your life, only if you make it the best time of your life. So I'll speak to you all soon. Goodbye.